Hey everybody, this is Tim VanLeeuwen at VanLeeuwen Ranch. I just wanted to give you an update on how the cattle are doing. Today is May 9th, Saturday. I turned these cattle out onto green grass last Sunday, which would have been May 3rd. If you'd watched my other videos, you know I had them in that little lot up there by the house that was stockpiled with dormant native grass from the winter. So my plan was to run these cattle in some paddocks that I made down on the south part of my property. I did get those paddocks set up. Actually, I got my hot wire ran and I got one paddock set up, but it's ready to move paddock to paddock. You know, when they graze the first paddock, I'm ready to move the wire and build the second paddock. It won't take me long to do that. But there's two reasons why I didn't move them down to those paddocks. They're actually just in open pasture right now. And the first reason is these cattle were hungry when they came off of that 1.6 acre lot, because it was mostly dormant native grass, and they did have protein in there, but they was hungry for this green grass. And the first paddock area that I set up is about, I think it was somewhere around 1.4 acres. That's just kind of how it worked out with the trees and everything. And so, you know, the grass was starting to grow, but it really wasn't taking off yet. And if I had turned them out at the end of there at the stage that it was, I think they would have just went to town on that grass, and I would not have got very many days out of it. And along with the next paddock also, I'm sure. So that's one reason. I'm feeling a little frisky here. So the grass hadn't really started to take off yet, and these cattle were hungry. So I would not have got very much time in that paddock. And also, I'm just kind of trying to give that grass time to grow and try to get some height on it. That way they're not grazing too close to the ground. And you know, out here they kind of got free range, and they can pick the grass that they want to graze. So they got plenty of taller grass out here, and they won't have to be grazing too close to the ground if I happen to not get them moved in time. So the other reason is we had a couple rains right around the time I was getting ready to move them, and along with, you know, the grass not really where I wanted it to be, and the rain, I just think it would have not worked out very well. I think that they would have grazed the grass too hard, and with them being hungry for green grass and with the rain, I just was kind of afraid to tear up that paddock, that first paddock. And so we're actually starting to get some really nice weather, and the grass is starting to take off now. This native grass, it gets going pretty slow. It doesn't really start to take off until you get some really nice consistent 70-75 degree weather. And so usually, you know, about the last week in April, it'll start to take off. And then, you know, like now in the early part of May, it's finally starting to get some growth on it. But we're supposed to get rain almost every day next week. That grass down there in the paddock is to the point where I think that I could turn them out. But with all the rain that we're going to be getting, I think it's just going to be hard to turn them out and not get it torn up. Now, I know I could kind of resolve that issue by moving them quicker. Guys, we live next to a small airport. There's a plane there. We're so used to these planes flying overhead, we don't even hardly hear them anymore, but you may hear one once in a while in these videos. But with all the rain that we're supposed to be getting, I just don't have time to be moving them every day or couple days like some people do. You know, with my day job, you know, I got about an hour and a half round trip drive to work and back, and we got 2 young kids, and so it's just not practical for me to be moving them every day or every couple days even. I'm just too busy and too much stuff to do. So I'm really looking to get, you know, 5 to 7 days out of my paddocks, and so in order to do that, I think I need to hold off until this rain is over next week, and that grass will really take off anyways with all the additional rain. And once it dries out and we get back into 70, 80 degree weather, it's gonna take off. So whenever that happens, whenever we dry out and get that weather, that, you know, 75, 80 degree weather back, I think that's when I'll start my grazing in my paddocks. But they're doing good on this now, and gotta go across a little draw here. They're doing good on this grass now, and they're happy. They're getting their bellies full. And these cattle, they make their rounds around the pasture. They don't graze one certain area too hard. They just graze a variety of areas, and they make their rounds every day. So you can see the grass out there starting to take off. So they're not going to be grazing this large part of the pasture down too hard. So I think I got time to wait after this rain that we're going to get next week and after it dries up. That's a really nice heifer there, guys. This heifer came out of she was a second calf cow, and she probably wasn't over 900 pounds. But she's just as big as the heifer that came out of probably a 1,250 to 1,300 pound cow, which is kind of what I was saying in my earlier video. You know, those 2 cows were quite a bit difference in weight and just general size. Anyways, for right now, her and that other heifer from that bigger cow are the exact same size. So once these cows get full grown, I don't know if that'll be the case. That other heifer from that bigger cow might grow a little bit bigger than her, but for now, you can't tell the difference between them as far as height, weight, thickness, or anything. So, you know, that just kind of goes to show you, you know, these smaller cows can raise just as good a calf, you know, as a bigger cow. I think a lot of it depends on your bull, and you know, just the mothering ability of the cow itself. I'd rather have a smaller calf, but, you know, have them come out healthy and doing good, and not be as hard on the land. This cow here is getting ready to have her calf pretty soon. She's starting to get a good bag on her. This cow is actually a 3/4 Geltfie. She's a balancer basically. She's 3/4 Gelbfie and 1/4 Angus. She's out of a Judd Ranch bull here from Kansas. She's got some really good genetics. She is a heavy milker though. She's kind of a high maintenance cow. She's the one that I kept because the vet said that she wasn't pregnant, and then she turned out to be pregnant. But she's a little bit of a bigger cow. She's probably close to the size of the cows that I had. Some of those bigger cows that I had that I sold. She's not quite as fat as she should be either, because she's been pregnant all winter, and I didn't feed them. I didn't feed them much this winter except for a little bit of hay and the stockpile grass that they had out here. So she's normally a little bit fatter than she is now. That's actually her heifer from last year. I'm kind of hoping she has another heifer, because if she turned out anything like this heifer out of that shorter bull, this heifer is gonna make a good heifer too. You can see she's a lot more shorter and stockier looking than her mama. Here's that other heifer I was telling you about, this baldy heifer, number 14. But she's a really nice heifer too. Her mama was a really good mama, probably one of the most natural mothering cows that I had from the time she had her very first calf when she was a heifer. Boy, she knew exactly what to do, and she takes really good care of her calves. So I actually got 2 heifers out of that cow before I sold her. One was the first calf heifer right here that's got the little bull calf this year, and then the other heifer was this one here that we had last year. So I actually got 2 heifers out of that cow, which was probably one of my favorite cows. And I got 2 heifers out of that smaller cow that I told you was around 900 pounds. One is that one right there, which is the older one. And then there's the other one right there, the one that I had showed you first. So anyways guys, I just wanted to give you an update, but I do have some things set up down there ready to go. It's just the timing of the weather that we're getting ready to have, and between that and then some other things that I had going on, and getting these cows on green grass and getting their bellies full, that's why I just wanted to wait until I started all that. So, hope you guys have a good day. There's that little bull calf right there. He's doing great. There he is looking at us. Cute little thing. So I hope you guys have a good day. And check back for some more videos here shortly.